Paul Heyman and CM Punk returned on last night's SmackDown. There's been a major change to the WarGames match, and more matches have been added to AEW Full Gear. Stay tuned for all the wrestling news. It is official. CM Punk is the fifth man for WarGames. He has joined the OG bloodline. This is some long-term storytelling, Sam.
It really is.
Cast your mind back to AEW All In 2023 Wembley. He leaves, raising the one, and now he's part of the bloodline.
Raising the one.
Raising the one. He's now part of the OG bloodline. This came about on last night's SmackDown. We saw Solo Sikoa come to the ring with the new bloodline and sort of had a terms of surrender.
Yeah, for Roman Reigns, because Roman couldn't find a fifth member. For love nor money, nobody wanted to help him out against the bloodline.
Of course, no one would want to help him out. We saw there was teases of Seth maybe joining, but obviously he doesn't want to team with Roman. But Bronson's now on the new bloodline, so it was like, will he do it, will he not? Well, during last night's show, they were in the ring. It looked like all was lost, and Roman was going to say something.
Yeah.
And then you heard, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman," and what a pop.
Paul making his return has been something we've been waiting for a while. It felt like 3 months ago we saw him with the bag, and they were already kind of doing stuff like that. So it's like having him come back now means we're going to get to further the storyline in a very dramatic fashion, and with Heyman then bringing out CM Punk, saying that you can't do a 4 versus 5 WarGames match, brings out CM Punk. We've got even longer term storytelling tying back to him being a Paul Heyman guy.
Exactly. So it all comes full circle. And we saw CM Punk get physical. They had a big battle between the two bloodlines. There was some brawling. Punk hitting the GTS on Tama Tonga, I believe, while Roman speared Tangaloa. And then we had a stare down between Roman and Punk.
Yeah.
And Punk pointing, being like, this isn't for you.
Yeah.
This is for him, the wise man, which I'm very excited to see the inevitable match between the two.
Yeah, because Punk is going to be like poison in any group he gets into, should he want to be. So I think that this is going to definitely flower into something much more dramatic down the line. But at the same time, I sat here last week going, no, don't make it Seth. That'd be really cheesy. And now they've made it Punk, and I'm kind of conflicted because it's cool, but it's also like, he's got nothing to do with any of this.
He's got nothing to do with any of it, but Sam...
He's got the very loose tether to Heyman.
It's cool.
That's cool.
Enough.
Yeah,
that is enough. We've got Punk in the WarGames. He brought so much prestige back to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Will he do the same with WarGames and sort of make it that... sort of career jeopardizing match again, because it's just become a bit normal again.
It has been, but I think it's just part and parcel of seeing gimmicks, once a year.
Yeah.
But I think that there's always a desire to step it up right each year on year, whether it works or whether it doesn't. So you got to think they're going to have something crazy planned.
I don't doubt it.
GTS off the top of the cage.
Bronson Reed hitting a tsunami off the top of the cage, getting caught with a GTS.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's the one.
But also on last night's SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes was in a little backstage altercation with Cody Rhodes, and he kind of alluded to CM Punk's past history with backstage fights. Now, Cody was seen walking backstage, and he called out Carmelo and was like, "What are you saying? What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
and he was like, "Kevin Owens is right. Kevin Owens is right about all of this."
Which Cody Rhodes does not want to hear.
No. So they got into a little backstage altercation, and after the show, Carmelo tweeted out, "Ran into CM Punk. Just gave me the best. They gave me the best advice to never lose a backstage fight again." And it's been announced that Cody versus Carmelo is taking place next week on SmackDown.
That'll be a solid match.
Yeah, really.
I do think that we're going to have to slowly start to see the inevitable undoing of Cody in this manner, where he's overbearing. Maybe he is a bit egomaniacal, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Do you think he'll go full heel within this title reign?
No, potentially. It depends how long he holds it for, right? But I like the idea of Cody becoming sort of self-obsessed in that very self-aggrandizing way.
It's a little bit like he's got a target on his back, and everyone is coming for him because he's the top dog, Of course he is. But I can't wait to see that one next week. It has already been taped, so there is spoilers out there on the internet. I'll not tell you the results of this match, but it has been taped already after last night's show. But tonight is AEW Full Gear. Sam knows all too well. The predictions are out on the channel right now, and there is a punishment for this one.
And it's
first one on Patreon. Yeah.
It just said Sir Strowman, which already, no.
Don't like the sound of that one, but AEW has added 2 more matches for you to be predicting for tonight. What are they?
So we've got Anna Jay versus Deonna Purrazzo, and Dante Martin versus Buddy Matthews versus Commander versus the Beast Mortos. both going on to the 0 hour.
Yes, so you've got an extra long 0 hour. They usually do have 3 matches.
I'm a bit annoyed because I thought Big Boom AJ was going to take up the entirety of the pre-show, and I was hoping that when he wins, the Rizzler doesn't ring the bell and it starts some sort of big social media storyline.
I would love that. Anything to get the Rizzler on more TV. I mean, the guy's got Riz. You know, I think that's going to be really fun. The Fatal 4-Way particularly.
Yeah.
Dante, Buddy, Commander, and the Beast Mortis.
Not Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall, Fraser. Is that not your match of the night?
It will, but it's unfair to compare it to anything else.
Well, I mean, looking at the card itself, we've also got Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley.
Jay White versus Hangman Page.
Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa's Champagne Celebration. I think we might see Toni Storm.
Maybe just a little bit. Yeah. John Moxley defending his title against Orange Cassidy, the AEW World Championship.
Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship.
Konosuke Takeshita defending the International Championship against Ricochet, which was a match that was happening and then not happening and then happening and not happening.
Reconfirmed now.
It's happening.
We've got the Private Party versus the Outrunners versus the Kings of the Black Throne versus the Acclaimed for the AEW Tag Team titles. Come on, the Outrunners!
We've got Jack Perry defending the TNT title against Garcia, which Garcia, come on, it's Garcia's time to take it. Send Jack Perry off into Blackpool Combat Club.
100%. And finally, Roderick Strong versus MJF. I think it's a pretty good looking show, to be fair.
Yeah, I think in terms of the runtime, I was kind of hoping after All In that we were going to just make the shows a bit more svelte, but no, we're back on the 12 match hype, and so I believe that we'll be having a good one.
You're going to be having a good one. What time tonight? It'll be at 11 p.m.
11:30 is when the pre-show starts, but me and Adam will be live. YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live right here on this channel. It's all open now, the waiting room, so go in there and leave us some abuse, and then when we come in later at like 10:30, we'll just sort of read them and cry.
I want to see that chat full of booms.
Yeah.
Booms, absolutely. But there's lots of title matches tonight, but also announced this coming Monday is a title match on Raw, and it's a grudge match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. This was announced on last night's SmackDown. Braun did a fantastic promo in this little advert for it. He did a full impression of Ludwig Kaiser, and it was so Scott Steiner.
Yeah. That's what I want. I need more of that in my wrestling.
The man is showing a lot of charisma. It's really, really good. But that match is taking place on this week's Raw.
I'm excited for Kaiser to get a decent chance to stretch his legs here.
Yeah, I do think it's going to end like the last title defense did with Sheamus. I think Sheamus is going to get involved to set up maybe a triple threat at Survivor Series next Saturday.
That'd be pretty cool.
Either way, that's going to be pretty hard hitting. But that is all we have for you just right now. We will be back later on today with more wrestling news, and don't forget to join Sam and Adam tonight for AEW Full Gear Live.
YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live. Get there now.
Boom.
Yeah.